This is Dolynny TV, guys. A big welcome back to the channel. Of course, breaking down some Blue Jays news coming down the Twitter wire almost about 9 minutes ago now from MLB Communications, the MLB_PR on Twitter. I'm joined on the phone by X-Snipes Gaming to talk a little bit about this news that came through. X-Snipes, of course, a big Blue Jays fan. The news we're talking is pitcher Roberto Osuna for the Toronto Blue Jays, who has been gone since around May 8th, has now accepted a retroactive 75-game suspension back to May 8th. X-Snipes, quickly, 75 games, number, what do you think?
I think it's too much, considering how many games he's missed already. I would have gave him 50 and just accumulated the games he missed on top of that.
Well, hold on here. I believe... Yes, so the suspension is retroactive to May 8th, so it'll cover from May 8th until August 4th of games.
Oh, okay.
So 75 games, I mean, even in that opinion, does that still sound reasonable to you, or is it still too much?
That's too many.
Okay. Let me get the rest of the information here. Without pay through August 4th, 2018 for violating Major League Baseball's joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. Of course, we know which one of those three branches this suspension falls under. Other than that, I guess you got to let the courts do their job there and see what the courts can come up with in terms of what happened, what actually happened, and who's at fault for what. But maybe let's take this in a broader sense for the Toronto Blue Jays. I've seen enough guys already ask, will Osuna be back in a Blue Jays uniform? But how much does this shape what the Blue Jays do going towards the trade deadline at this point?
I think he stays. They're probably upset with him, but I wouldn't say that they're that upset that they would trade him. He's, 24 years old?
Something in that ballpark. Yep.
He's one of the best rookie closers in a long time. And to give him up just because of that, I don't see them giving him up.
Okay, so what are kind of the other pieces that you look at now? If the Blue Jays obviously had Osuna been part of the team up to this point and they were still in the similar situation they are in now, if he was a primary trade target at that point, who do you now put a little bit more emphasis on trading when it comes to trading someone at the deadline off the Blue Jays roster this season?
This season, I gotta say Jay Happ. He's 9-3, best starter we have right now. But he'll fetch us probably the biggest return out of anyone, even Josh Donaldson. Donaldson's been too injury prone the last 2-3 years, and Happ's proved over the last 3 years he can win ball games. He just needs to be on a team that can hit constantly, night in, night out, and he'll be up there, not up there with Kershaw or Scherzer, but in the second elite row there.
Okay, so coming back to Osuna, I guess ultimately August 4th happens. Roberto Osuna is reinstated pending nothing else going on with the courts at that point. Are you, as a Blue Jays fan, welcoming him back with open arms? Or are you kind of, this guy, we saw what panned out. I don't really like this guy. Or, you know what, everybody did their justice. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was right. It's all good. I want him back. What's kind of your feeling August 4th, Roberto Osuna reinstated on the Blue Jays roster? At this point, not knowing what the courts are about to determine, how would you feel?
I'd be glad he's back. The team itself needs bullpen help. You can't just rely on Tepera that's been pitching amazing. I think it just go back to normal. Fans are going to love him for him, and what happened was in the past, and we'll move forward.
So you're equating it to a kind of situation where a guy uses PEDs and gets suspended and you just welcome him back, and the fan base itself is glad to have him back, but do you think in a broader context the MLB fan base might be a little weary on Roberto Osuna when he comes back off this suspension on August 4th? Or...
No, I don't think they will be. I think they'll just be like, oh great, we got to go back up against Osuna. And the past is the past. Like, everyone does something stupid. There's no doubt about that, and people move on past it.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty well thought out answer, I'd say, right there. So, 75 games, retroactive to May 8th, 2018 for Roberto Osuna. This has been Brandon X Snipes, whatever you want to call him, joining me here on Dolynny TV. Of course, the one last thing I'll leave with you, X, is what do the Blue Jays need to do now, knowing what's settled with Osuna? We already talked about trading J. Happ, but the trade deadline, we've talked about what we need to get rid of. What are the needs at the trade deadline? Is it just shed salary, shed older players, and get a new core going, or is it bring something in that could help, or bring something prospects-wise? What are you looking for?
Well, a lot of people are making them sellers at the deadline. I personally think they have to be buyers. They're not going to make the playoffs this year, but that doesn't mean they can't go out and get one or two better starting pitchers than what we have and put them in the rotation. If you can get, say, trade J. Happ for someone good and go out and get a good pitcher in return that's better than J. Happ, I do it. They need starting pitching because Sanchez is, of course, hurt again. Stroman's supposed to be back tomorrow. And Biagini's not the best pitcher. We got Estrada that can't hit the strike zone. All that, you need starting pitching. And I would get rid of the whole team, or most of the team right now, because they're injury prone.
As has been a case with the Toronto Blue Jays since, following them myself, time eternal. It seems one key injury leads to another, which leads to another, and suddenly the season's lost, minus 15 and 16 when things kind of lined up and everything worked. But we've seen the same old story play out here in 2018, but now the complication is Roberto Osuna handed a 75-game retroactive suspension to May 8th, 2018. He will be back eligible for the Blue Jays lineup on August 4th, 2018. Guys, this has been Dolynny TV. He's X Snipes Gaming. I'm Tyson. As always, for more Blue Jays, whether it be MLB The Show 18 or following through towards the trade deadline and further on, the Toronto Blue Jays news will be homed on Dolynny TV. Thank you so much, X.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here. Bing bang. That's 10 minutes. Somehow we stretched it. I like it. Okay.
Somehow we stretched it.
I'm going to let you go. I'm going to throw this on my phone, go shower, and we'll figure out what we're doing for the draft right away here.
Yeah, because that's in like 45 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much, hey?
Yep.
Okay, bye.